Alright, so while we are in a tech drought, I got another weird little idea to try out. So pretty much to make that title make sense, right? What I was thinking is instead of just, writing a melody, reversing it, and then reversing the whole thing back, right? Boring. I'm gonna do something like this, right? So each sound is gonna have a ton of attack, kind of like this. And so the whole melody will already sound reversed, even though technically it's not. So whenever we do eventually, flip the melody back around, it should sound like every sound isn't reversed, whereas, beforehand it sounded reversed. Anyways, that's the idea. Now I just gotta make something cool. Alright, so this may or may not work. I'm really intrigued by what this is actually gonna end up sounding like at the end. Pretty cool. I'm actually gonna add delay to this sound. And I guess this does kind of seem similar to, a couple of videos ago, that video that I uploaded. But in that one, not only did I not reverse the melody, it also wasn't necessarily the same idea, if you know what I'm saying. Honestly, at this point, I'm just very curious to see what this is going to sound like reversed. Okay. For some reason, my brain was telling me that this was going to sound bad, but that is very cool. And I do feel like it's quite different from, 2 or 3 videos ago or whatever. Because now, instead of every sound being smooth, it's the opposite of smooth. But first, every sound was smooth. Anyways, I think that kind of works. I would like to add a couple more things because it sounds a little empty. And I think since you can definitely do the same thing in Xenology, but I'm just going to go ahead and reverse these just because, I don't know. We can do that with one sound and not consider it cheating, I guess. So for example, take this flute. Essentially, this is, the other method for doing the exact same thing, but this is boring. But since I already have all the other stuff, once again, it can be considered not boring and instead cool little detail. I would also prefer to have some stuff that's kind of offset like this. That adds some more interesting rhythm and stuff, especially once this is reversed. Actually, it'd be more like this. Wow, I feel like, I can make them go down for this part, and then for this part, I feel like they should go back around the other way, if that makes sense. I think I know what we need. We need another vital. I need like a very long pad. That should work. Alright, that'll work. So now I think I'll just arrange some of this stuff. I don't feel like it needs any more things in the melody, at least not right now. So this will be the arrangement. Obviously, this is flipped around since, the melody will be reversed. So the arrangement will also be reversed. Alright, let's get it. Let's make this stupid beat. Dude, look at this tech. Open in a new tab. This one's good. Open in a new tab. And then also this one. I wish I could get rid of this stupid stuff. I don't need it. Yes. Hide, 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 hide. And then we just follow those chords throughout the rest of this thing. And that's all the other stuff. So I copied these and then pasted them right here, but I guess this isn't, no, yeah, it's not. But that actually, okay, so hear me out. I copied it like right here, right? So this is 6 bars instead of 8. I didn't even notice that, but it's kind of tech because now it's offset from, where the melody was and where the drums were playing, if that makes sense. And I get 2 extra bars at the end to make something unique. I think you can interpret that as tech. Alright, so that should be all the drums. Now I'm gonna add a bass. No, actually, I think what I did was I literally started the drop 2 bars early or something. It still works though, somehow. Alright, I think it's done. Very simple beat. I think I'm gonna make a second one for this video because I haven't done that in a long time and I like doing that. But, very experimental. I realized that technically the first chord in this progression, since it's, reversed, is this chord, and this chord is a chromatic chord or whatever it's called, right? So that's very strange because usually you wouldn't use that as, your starting off chord. You would kind of use it as a tension builder that would then resolve, but I guess that kind of works even if it's the first chord. I don't know. Very experimental, very interesting. I wish Skeletrix would try a beat like this. That would be cool. I feel like he would go very well on this. No ego stuff, nothing like that. Just, I feel like his vocals would sound very beautiful on this. Anyways, little chill one. Peaceful world. Alright, so it's been about 2 days since the last one, and in between that time, besides doing some other stuff, I recorded a song on the last beat. And now I guess this question will be going out to y'all. Would y'all want to see me dropping stuff? Realistically speaking, if I do drop stuff, I'm going to drop it anyways, regardless of the answer to that question, because I don't know. But yeah, besides that, I'm just going to go ahead and make something a little different for this one, but with a similar premise. You know what would make this a lot more interesting? If I did something like this. Trippy. I was thinking about this earlier. Technically, I could just do something where this sound is, regular, and then there's some kind of a pluck sound in here. And then whenever I do end up reversing it later, it'll sound reversed in the, pre-reversed. I don't know. I can't even explain it, but it makes sense to me. Awesome. I want to make some more FL Studio built-in slide note sounds. Very satisfying. I want to make a couple more of those. I like whatever color this is. I don't know how I ended up on it. It's like purple in here. What is going on? I think I'm gonna take every sound that I have, and in the last beat, I don't believe I really messed around a lot with like exporting these and then actually just, messing around with them like I usually do. It still ended up sounding very cool though. But in this one, I want to like export this, take for example this chord, take another version of it, like offset it, make unique, and then do this. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And like I'm not reversing them or anything, so it's still everything still sounds reversed like the premise was supposed to be, but it's still cool. Get some grains or something. Those will probably sound about the same reversed and not reversed. Solid. Alright, and everything else can probably just be arranged. I don't think this has to be too crazy. Both of these are just kind of chill beats. I'm gonna try to make this lead sound a little cleaner, or at least like transition in a little cleaner. This is technically going to be reversed though, so it would come in like this rather than this way. Alright, and everything else probably doesn't really matter. I don't think I'm going to flip this around for the pad, like the arrangement, so that it's, already reversed. I'm just going to make a pad. Alright, let's see what that will end up sounding like. Method, alt, reverse. What if I rearrange the chords? That actually worked, but the part at the end sounds better the other way. You know what, this didn't really sound that good to me, but I feel like I'm just gonna make something. Alright, I know this looks really basic, but I'm gonna add like sound effects and stuff to make this a little bit more interesting. I'm just trying to get the main drums down for now. I'm gonna add more open hats to this part though, before I paste it. I see, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Alright, I'm gonna add an 808 now because this sounds a little boring without an 808, but I feel like an 808 would really make this full, even though there isn't a lot of sounds. Hold on, am I retarded? This is reversed. Why do these 808 notes sound so bad? It's reversed. And then right here, I think these two bars switch. Alright, But the way that I'm seeing this beat is that there's a lot of space open for vocals. Like usually I try a little too hard for the videos, but this beat could actually be used. Same with the last one actually. I don't know, maybe both these will end up being used a little bit later. I don't know though. I gotta make sure this actually sounds good to me tomorrow. It doesn't sound bad right now though. Alright, well it's definitely not my favorite, definitely not the craziest I've ever made, but it's not bad. And I think for a idea like this where I don't really know, it'll be quite difficult to make something actually very good. It's possible by all means, but it would be annoying. You know what I mean? I guess this will work probably, because I mean, either way, y'all can take the vital sounds from the members and then make something better, right? So I think that's pretty valid.